Hello, hello, hello. It is your boys, the DM podcast, once again giving you that flavor in your ear. In today's episode, we're going to talk some Philadelphia 76ers because they're having a rough time. We're probably going to talk some Tyrese Haliburton because his recent comments, the way he's been moving, man did an interview, look like he's about to cry, look like he's going through a lot with the Pacers organization. So we'll probably dive into that as well. We're both going to talk about a player that a top 15, maybe top 20 player that we think they're a top 20 player for sure, but their game we just don't really mess with. And a lot more. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But before I continue, how is my boy YS doing?
Every day above ground.
Of course, as long as we're above ground, then we are all good. I feel like my light is shining a little too much in my face. I'm trying to make it work better for me. But it's shining. It's
It's
definitely
all good,
shining.
man. You're looking handsome. You already know.
Trying to. Handsome and wealthy.
Uh.
But yeah, the first topic that I wanted to talk about was the Philadelphia 76ers. It's a team that we both, I think we were laughing about it, like, of course, like the preseason like previews, right? I'm pretty sure me and you were laughing for a while how much we thought the 76ers had the most pressure on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we can mix it up. It's injuries. Not everyone is healthy. Things like that. Like Embiid wasn't healthy. Paul George got an injury pretty early in the season. And it's been really Maxey, and now it's been McCain. McCain he's probably gonna be right now the rookie of the year the way he's playing. He's playing. He's doing TikToks and then he's playing the game because his TikTok he hasn't stopped doing TikToks at all. He hasn't
That's the
stopped.
only bright spot on Philly still. I'm not gonna lie.
He's the only bright spot. It'll make you think like, okay, maybe you got a future in him and Maxi. Maybe if you end up being bad, you could think about like maybe try to get a top 10 pick.
But this
Maybe.
comes down to opportunity too, right?
Right,
Like what
right,
we were talking about in the season preview, right? A couple of weeks ago, a few weeks
right,
ago. Like, which
right,
rookies are gonna get opportunity, right?
right.
So, and right now McCain is in a situation where we didn't think he'd get this much opportunity, but look what he's doing with it. And his confidence is growing each and every day. He had a 30 piece of the day.
Yep, yeah. He's talented, right? So now this team is 3-12. The thing with the East isn't good.
Not at all.
Right? So you can go on a few game winning streak. We may mention the Bucks. Look at the Bucks. They're
Yeah.
now about to be 500. I think they have a game today. They're gonna be like 500. By next week, they'll probably have a winning record. Like they're back to being relevant. Doc, your job is saved for right now.
For now.
For now, your
For
job is
now.
safe. So we'll have to wait and see. But I think McCann is averaging like Jerry McCann is averaging 16.5 points, which is not bad at all, especially for a rookie. Like no one was expecting you to be playing as much as you're doing now. Now, this team, it hasn't been good at all. Like I think it's such a disappointing team because once again, me and you were both cracking, like laughing about how good this team. And I get it, like we said, Embiid, Paul George are out, but to me, like this team is still good enough,
Mhm.
in my opinion, to win games in the Eastern Conference. You're
100%.
you're still like we most of us I think in the world who watches the NBA put Maxi as a top 25 player, right? And then his bench isn't bad. Like you still have, the Eric Gordons, you still have Caleb Martin, Yabusele has been okay. Drummond's a really good backup. Like no matter what, he still gets boards. You still got Kelly Oubre, like you got Reggie Jackson. You got guys who can play, right? You can compete. Not saying you'll be like 500, like I'm not saying you'll have the best record, but 3-12, like you should have at least won like 6 games by now, 7 games. You should be competitive.
I
I don't think
know.
they've been that competitive. They've lost to, I believe they lost to the Raptors, which like you shouldn't be losing to the Raptors, honestly. Not at that time when they didn't really have anyone. You shouldn't be losing to them. But like you lost to the Grizzlies. You let freaking and mind you lost to the Grizzlies with Embiid playing. This time Embiid was playing and you lost to the Grizzlies. Like you lost to Charlotte. Aren't you better than Charlotte? You lost to the Grizzlies twice, now that I look at it. You lost to Detroit. Like, like
Detroit's competing.
Detroit's competing. That's Detroit's my second team. Detroit's my second team. They're fighting. They're fighting. I give them that. But yeah, you just haven't been good. And like to say that you have an easier route, like you have the Clippers, which is today as we record this on Sunday. I think the Clippers will probably win that because the Clippers are pretty good. Houston is a really good team.
Yes, yes,
Houston
yes.
is a good team. They're like winning games. I don't think they have an identity yet, which I think they
Mm,
need to figure out. Like, I think they need a pecking order. Right now, they're just winning because they play harder than you. That's
yeah,
what it comes down to.
got a bunch of young guys conditioned. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they just play harder than you. Detroit is not easy, like you said.
No, it's not no cakewalk like last season.
No, Charlotte isn't a cakewalk either. It's
It
not.
isn't. Because
Mind you,
Brandon Miller's got that confidence coming into this season after his rookie. You see him now. It's seems like LaMelo's good with doing his thing, and Miller, you can. This could be not your team, but you can be the number one option.
yeah, yeah,
You
easily,
know what I mean?
easily. I think so that's a tough team because they score a lot. They didn't face Orlando twice, and we're gonna get to Franz because Franz has been like we were calling him out. I think the world was calling him out and saying like, "Hey, Paulo's gone. We need you to step up," and he has. And we'll probably talk about that next.
Shout
But
out to Franz helping my parlays. Thank you.
like he's been balling. He's definitely been balling. But yeah, so and you can say they didn't face Chicago, Charlotte again, and like, but honestly, there's a lot of teams that are competing. There's only a few
Yeah,
teams.
Chicago is competing this
Oh,
year. I know you're like wondering what are they doing?
to me, it's don't compete. Don't compete. You don't need to compete. Like I don't know how to tell you. You don't need to compete. That doesn't make sense. But yeah, I just think Philly, it's not. It's gonna get harder, man. It's gonna get harder, especially if you guys don't have the team chemistry. You're basically asking Embiid to try even harder to not for you guys to overcome this, and that's a lot that you're putting on Embiid, who's already shown like signs of being tired.
Yeah.
Right? He's older, so he's above 30, so like it's gonna get harder for him. Like, what are you seeing in Philly?
What I'm seeing in Philly is zero, zero team chemistry. You
Yeah.
guys are not even moving like a team. You know what I mean? There's team meetings that happen all the time in the league that we don't even hear about. We're hearing about this one. It's obvious that we know there was going to be a team meeting. You guys are 3-12 or 3-10 at the time. We also know there's going to be some team meeting. We know that. We're not stupid, but
Mhm.
it's just how it leaked. You know what I mean? Embiid's comments, the media. You know what I mean? PG being out, right? Maxi is the young guy here, and it's like he's the one that's trying to be the leader. And it's like, yo, I expect better from my vets. You guys are my vets, right? And it's like sometimes it's not good to meet your idols.
It's not. It's not. And the thing is, it was a players only meeting. Like players only. No one else. Now, if it was a big team meeting with a bunch of assistants and da 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 da,
Yeah.
it can leak because maybe someone told someone da 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 da. It's a players only meeting. So it's the only how Shams found out is that a player more than likely told their agent, and
Yep.
the agent told Shams.
Yep.
That's what happened. Right? And then they're saying how like Maxi called out Embiid, which like some people are like, don't blow it out of proportion. Maxi and Embiid are good friends. All he was saying is like, hey, show up to work on time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're the leader. You're the number one guy. You should be here before all of us.
Yeah.
You should be showing us what it takes to win a title.
He's
Which
not serious. Embiid's not serious. Like mentally, it's not serious.
yeah, and Maxi's not wrong, man. You gotta tell Embiid like, hey, like you are the best player in the world. One of the best players in the world, I should say. You did win the MVP a few years back. Like you can't be moving like that.
But
Like
it's coming from Maxi. I'm sorry to interrupt. It's coming from Maxi, right? If that's the correct story, right? It's not coming from, let's say, a AD that won a ring, came to Philly and is like, hey, I know
right,
what it takes, like a LeBron in Philly, like telling, you know what I mean? Or a
right,
Curry on a
right.
Philly. It's different because, like, okay, these guys are
Like
more.
it didn't come from Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry is the reason why the meeting happened. He's the one who said let's have this meeting.
Oh, he's gonna encourage me.
Yeah, because he's the vet. He's the vet. So the vet's telling us like let's talk. And then Kyle didn't say it. It was Maxie who said,
And
hey,
he
like,
has this, and he has this, and he has this, right? He
man,
has that too.
You gotta listen to him. Like people are like, okay, Kyle Lowry hasn't been great this season, but he's also like 37, and you're asking him to start. Like you're asking too much of him.
You're talking about Kyle Lowry, that's the same Kyle Lowry has been in the league since 2006,
Yeah, like you can't be asking too much of him.
right? That Kyle Lowry that has won a ring. Who has been in the league on that team that's won a ring and has had that longevity over 1,100 games
None,
played in the
none,
league?
none, none. No one has won a title except Kyle on this team.
Okay, and he's the vet, the real vet on the team. So,
Yeah, 'cause I don't think Kelly Oubre won. He didn't win anything. No, I don't think so.
so
Yeah,
he
so
went the distance. Kyle remembers knocking y'all off with Kawhi, and so it's like, so I called the meeting.
yeah. Some people are saying, would you, so with Nick Nurse, I find him sometimes to be a little bit like harsh with his
Yep,
players. I think
yep.
he's a tough coach, and I think it can be good and bad at the same time. But sometimes I think he can lose a locker room pretty quickly because like you want to be coached, but you don't want to be disrespected. So I,
Agreed,
I think I
agreed.
think there's already things like, is he losing the locker room in Philly? Do you think he's potentially losing the locker room, or his biggest excuses is I didn't have Embiid for most of the season. So Embiid's only played 4 games. Paul George only played 8. Maxey only 9. Like they've played 15 games, so a lot of guys haven't played less than half of the games.
Here's the thing: you guys should be 500.
Yeah, or
Respectfully,
just close to it. Like just
you guys
close.
should be you guys should be competing in games, right? Here's the thing: Nick Nurse losing the locker room, it's tough. It's tough because he means well. We know Nick Nurse means well. He
Yeah.
wants to get the best out of his players. We know that, but it's just players are misinterpreting what he's really saying, right? So,
Yeah,
and he's
he doesn't have the best delivery. I think that's always been known about Nick Nurse. He doesn't have the best delivery.
and he comes on the media and says certain things where it's like you kind of have to side eye like you're the coach saying that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I will always remember when he first came and we still had DeMar at the time, and he's like, DeMar has to play defense, and if he doesn't, I'm benching him. Like he was already coming at DeMar on his like first thing. Like, first of all, you're the first time coach. Chill
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
chill out, because you haven't gained that respect from anyone yet.
That's the
Like
thing.
respect has to be earned, right? So.
See,
Yeah,
Pop has that respect, so he can kind of say what he wants, and it's like you either in or you're out, and that's still gonna be his machine,
yeah,
right?
Pop can say legit whatever. Still get well soon, Pop, because he hasn't. I don't know. I probably feel. I wish he would want to retire, but it's one of those things like you want to retire on your own wants, not based off like health. So, and that's how just like a lot of men are. They want to base off themselves. So,
Now you got a little bit of not a little bit. Now you got new life over there in San Antonio with Wemby. So
who like last? I didn't watch last night's game, but I saw a snippet where like Golden State was up like 12-15. Then I checked back, and I'm
that's I
like, it was tied, and then like, oh, they won. I'm like. And
don't know
okay,
what happened. Yeah, I don't know what happened either, man.
okay, Wemby and company. I didn't know.
I was
But
trying to
yeah,
watch the Lakers and Denver game last night. I think I was trying to watch.
I watched the highlights of that game, and like just to quickly say, man. First of all, this man's gonna go for 4 MVPs. He's getting 4 MVPs. When you talk about this is the first time, like not first time, but we talk about most valuable. This man is most. When he was off the court, when I was watching the highlights, Lakers were up 10. When he's on the court, they're up 20. Like Denver's up 20. Like,
He
he's
just
just
has IQ. That's just crazy.
he's a game changer, right? He's a
I
game
forget
changer.
who's doing the entry pass and he had to tip the ball in or else it'd be a turnover. He had to tip the ball in or tip pass. If he
Yeah,
caught the ball, turnover.
like he's so see now go back to Embiid. This was your main competition for the past. Him and Giannis, you three are like were like the three guys like right now and like the this version of basketball, and like Giannis and Jokic are like speeding past you. They just are. Right? And like, I think you may agree to this, but I'll see what your thoughts are. One of the reasons why I think Embiid also gets injured is because the flopping. Like, you're purposely looking to get hit, then fall a certain way.
Foul baiting. Yeah, I hate that shit.
Because then you're
Yeah.
gonna fall down, and then the more you fall down, the more your back is gonna hurt, the more your legs are gonna hurt. Like you're putting more strength, like you're putting more strain in your body.
You're 7'2", like 280.
Right,
You're
right.
not no kid that's 3 years old falling getting back up. Hey,
Yeah, you can't be doing so. I probably think that's the reason. But do you see Philly turning this around?
eventually, I see them turning it around, but I don't see them being a good team in general.
You
I
don't.
don't see it. I see them being like mid, a little bit above mid, not a good team. I see them finishing above 500, obviously, and the season's done, right?
You think so? Then they would have to go on a run.
I think they should, and I don't mean like 50 wins. Hold on,
Yeah.
I mean like maybe 44, 38.
So if they 44 and 38, that means they would have to lose, quick math, 26 games now, and then they have to win like 40 games.
Yeah.
Oh no, my math is wrong. They have something like that.
26 and 40. So that's 14 games above 500
Yeah.
to finish out.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if they're healthy, they're capable.
If they're capable. Which once again, it's the Eastern Conference. Anything's possible in the Eastern Conference.
But if they really do finish below 500,
Oh, disappointing. Especially after all that we were saying, disappointing. Like I think the thing is, even if they do 41 and 41, 41 and 41, they still have to win like they have to win right now they're 3 and 12. So you gotta win a ton of
they're
games.
3 and 12, not 4 and 12. They're
No, yeah,
3.
they're 3 and 12. So
Yeah.
to get 41 and 41, you have to be 38 and like 20 something, 26. Like that's a lot. 3 and 26 is a lot.
We'll see. I said what I said.
Right? But it's possible because once again, you have Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and Paul George, and you still have a very good bench. So you just need to go on a hot streak, right? You just need to have signature wins. Embiid needs to play like an MVP. Maxey needs to step. And if Jared McCann is going to play the way he's
I was
playing,
about to say, you have
right?
Drummond off the bench too.
You still have Kelly Oubre, Eric. Like you still have a fucking good team.
This is a very legit team still.
Like
Like
so,
on paper, stuff Lowry. We didn't even call him stuff Lowry in the mix that can give you a 15 a game leadership.
right, right.
15
He can
minutes,
probably
I
give you
mean.
15.
15 minutes. I don't mean 15. 15
Yeah, no,
minutes.
15 minutes of good leadership. Yeah, yeah, you're right. He can give you that. You have Kelly on both sides. You have Drummond, who's a rebound menace. Like, it's still a freaking good team. That's why you're hella
You guys could
disappointed.
go 10 deep and be Oubre
That's why you're
is
disappointing. That's why this team is very disappointing because you are that talented.
like I like the one. Holy shit. Oh.
Yeah, no,
You guys are like for you guys to literally go under 500 at the end. You guys
too
on paper,
talented.
that's too talented.
Way too
On paper,
talented to go. Way too talented.
it's
Especially if
crazy.
Paul George can give you like a good stretch of games, you're way too talented not to, right? The Paul George and Maxey, just those two are too talented, especially with that bench, to not win some games.
Oh,
Like just not. So yeah, we could see it turning around. Yeah, it's good that Maxey called it Embiid, and it's good that Embiid did say like whoever snitched, like F you, because I agree, like that's supposed to stay
100%.
in house. But like you said
100%.
originally, that's the problem. That team chemistry is like y'all are not messing with each other. For that to get leaked out, you knew what's up. Like why would you say that that's what happened in your meeting?
That's actually wild.
So it's not it's definitely not good. Um I said we are gonna talk about Franz next, but let's talk quickly, just quickly about another team, another more a player that's been struggling, which is the Indiana Pacers, but most importantly, Tyrese Haliburton.
Oh,
We've been talking about him like almost every episode,
we've been.
and like he's another player. The stats aren't bad, like they're not.
They're not
I
bad.
think
They're not bad.
I think it's the shooting splits that aren't good. Like
Let's
he's
see the shooting.
averaging, so he's averaging 15 points, which I know is not the greatest.
It's not because if you
Uh,
look at his last season, what was he averaging last season? 20.
I think close to 20, yeah.
He
He,
hasn't averaged 15. He hasn't averaged 15 points since his sophomore season in the league.
yeah, yeah. He
Look at
averaged
him.
20. He was 20 with 10 assists, 4 rebounds. He's at 8 assists. He almost had 11 assists. I'll say he's 20 and 11. So I'll say that. Now he's 15 and 8. Let's see the shooting. percentages.
Yeah,
That's
he's
what
been
fully
having
matters.
double-digit assists the last 2 seasons.
He's shooting 29%. It's the three. And even his field goals are at 37. His man was
That's
shooting,
all.
he's normally at 50%, closer to 50% shooter, like field goals. He's at 37%,
That's horrible.
29%. Like his free throws are down, like only 3%, but 3% is still a lot if you think about it.
It's a difference, yeah.
Yeah, it's not there's something off. Some people are saying it could be his personal life. That something because that can affect you. So it definitely can affect you, but he's
Mm.
off, and you can see it in his interviews. He's off, but then everyone, like you said, like maybe this is who he is. Maybe he is a 16 and 10 guy. Maybe that's the best
Still
version of
good,
him.
which is still good.
Very good, very good, very good. Maybe that's what he is. I wouldn't call him mid. Who said that he was like mid or something?
Which guy was saying it? I forgot it was NBA. It was a player from the NBA, former player.
Yeah, you can't be calling him mid. Like he's not mid.
It was funny though. I'm like, what the hell?
But like I think I said it
Does he have a
last
move pack? Does Tyrese Haliburton have a handle kit to you? Does he have a handle pack?
no, I don't think so.
He doesn't have because I don't really see him with like
He's
any
not saucy. He's not saucy at all.
handle pack.
No, he's not
Oh,
saucy. But
God.
he can hit the three pretty well. Shooting 40% shooting three is pretty good.
Yeah, it is, but
That means we have to guard you.
that's definitely anything over 37 is like you better fun close out.
Yeah, we have to
The
guard you. So
form is
then
weird. The form is weird. Like LaMelo has a way better looking form than him, and LaMelo's form is a little weird to me. But
yeah. It is so this is where we've been saying it. We won't even harp on it, but hopefully he picks it up because he is their engine, and it
yeah,
sucks. Like you can't change mid-year and go like, well, just play the way you're playing. We're gonna play through Pascal and Mathurin because Pascal's playing like an all-star, potentially an all-NBA player. Like everyone sees it, but you can't credit it when the team is not playing well enough,
it's true.
right? Pacer fans are like, Pascal's carrying us. But Haliburton is dragging us so down. It's not working. Even Miles Turner's having a good season. He's
Yep.
averaging, he's going 17 and 7 right now, Miles Turner.
How many blocks?
Great question. Ooh, 2 blocks.
That's good. I need to put that man on my parlay.
2 blocks is not bad. You
I think they're
know,
playing today, right? Indiana's playing today.
yeah, I believe so. Yeah. You know,
I gotta put blocks on Turner.
Matherin's averaging 19 points a game.
He's just a he's 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 a bucket.
Yeah,
Like he's
but
a
but
bucket. Shout out to Haiti. Ça passe.
Aaron Neesmith is oh, he's out to at least December. See, that hurts their defense.
It does. It does.
And then there's a guy named, is it Quentin Jackson? This man played one of the games and he was like,
They have another Jackson on the team.
he was trying to gun it, bro. This guy was trying to gun it. I remember
Isaiah
watching.
Jackson too, no?
Yeah, but he's out for the season.
Oh,
I think so. I have to double check. Then there's Andrew Nemhard. He should be back soon.
I haven't really been watching pace for ball, but how's he been playing this year?
No, he's out. He was out for the past like 2 weeks
Wow.
with a knee injury. So he should be back. If not this week, next week. That's the way it looks. But see, they're
Killing
also
this
suffering
league.
injuries, right? So
Injuries are killing this league. It's so tough. They're killing this league, these injuries.
oh yeah. And this because in this you have to be deep in this league. You have to have like a good 9, 10 man, especially in the regular season. You have to have a 9, 10 man rotation, and their 9, 10 men are good. But do I think a talented Haliburton, Turner, Mathurin, and Siakam, they've all played the most, like they all barely missed any games. So I think they should be more. Yeah, 6 and 10 shouldn't be your record. It shouldn't
No.
be.
But it's the East, so it's nothing.
That's the thing with the East is so.
Looks
I
like
hate how
three
bad it
below
is.
500 in the East. Everyone else is like below 500.
Yeah, so yeah, 4 teams above.
Yeah.
Milwaukee will probably be above soon because they're 8 and 9. I think they have a game today, which they should win. So they'll be 9 and 9. And then Miami 6 and 7. I don't know, Miami has like the least amount of games played. So they should be better. But then Atlanta 7 and 10, Chicago 7 and 11, Detroit 7 and 11. Like these records, when I see them, are so trash.
They're very trash. And we're approaching 20 games, and it's still looking like this.
Yeah, and then you go to the West. That's why there's reports that they really want to make it a 16 or 20 like tournament, but not like don't worry about the conferences or anything like that. Just put the best 16. So I kind of like it, but then no Eastern Conference owner
Yeah,
is going to want that.
I don't even know how I really feel about this tournament still. You know what I mean? I like this parts. I like that it's, they're playing like it's playoffs. There's things I don't like. You already know, but
Yeah, but I like that one. But for the playoffs, no one's gonna ever do that. Like never. They'll never say like you need majority ownership. So most of the owners have to agree to this. If you're Toronto, Charlotte, Atlanta, and you're in the bottom, why the hell would I be like, I don't want to make the playoffs? Yeah, bring your Western Conference. No, I don't give a
well,
shit.
for the playoffs, the cup, whatever. Do we need to do for the cup? The Emirates Cup, whatever. But it needs to be East and West.
It has to be East versus West,
Has to be East and West.
right?
Has to be North and South. East and West has to be. Has to
Yeah.
be.
No, but I think eventually the West will get like I want to even now we're looking at standings. Portland, I just want to give a shout out to Portland. I thought they would be the worst team in the league.
Yeah. Yeah.
I generally thought that.
Me
They're
too.
7-10. They compete.
They've been in games, and I'm like, Portland's in this game? It's surprising me.
Like they beat Houston last night. But it's one of those back to back. So I feel like teams always lose the back to back in the sense of like they
You
face the team twice in a row. Like Houston won the first game and then Portland won the second game. I find that always happens.
Yeah, the home and homes.
Yeah, so like it is what it is. But they're 7-10. Their stats wise, like Sharp has been balling. 18 points. Grant has 16. Simons has 16. Aiton's injured now, but he had 13. Henderson had 11.
Everyone's scoring evenly, huh?
Sorry?
Everyone's scoring evenly.
Yeah, yeah, it's a very even squad, right? So that means you have to watch every single one of them. Like it's
That's the thing.
no
That's the
one's like standing out. So, but yeah, they're competing at it. It's weird when a team
That's
competes. Like
just so like aside from the Jazz and the Pelicans, like everyone else in the West can make the play in.
legit, they're fighting, man. Portland should be bad though. Eventually,
They
once they
should.
trade, once they trade Simons and Grant, man, they should be bad.
Yeah.
They should because like I think even people talk about trading 8 and 2. Like but I don't know who would want Aiton.
Ian's decent though. I
As
don't
as
know.
long as he knows he's not like the main person, he
No,
could be good.
he's,
He could,
he's, he's good. Like he the thing with Aiden, he's very flexible. Pause.
yeah,
Has agility, right?
he
I
does.
see
It's
certain things
effort.
he's
A
doing,
lot of
and I'm
this
like,
is just effort.
yeah, yeah. It's effort with them still, yeah. But he's good. He's good.
And like in the West, like it's like there's so much teams with 7 losses. They lose that one more game, they're all the way out. They're out completely. You win a game, you're potentially like fourth. Like it's gonna be a tight race, man. I don't know.
And
I
the
uh
Hawks
but
are the same record as Portland, 7-10. See, isn't that crazy?
and like yeah,
Expect the
Atlanta's
Hawks to
7th.
be anything.
Sorry?
We didn't expect the Hawks to be anything, anyways, right? Because
Didn't. But then I also know Trey Young is a good player. He can help him win games. Um the thing is Chicago is talented enough. So like I'm being ignorant to not think Chicago's talented. Zach LaVine is a talented player. Vucevic is a talented player. I just thought maybe they would just like just not make them want to win games. Like it's more of me just wanting Chicago to make the right decision. Like you don't need to try to win games, man. That's Detroit should try to win games. You don't need any more draft picks, low key. Like you don't need any more draft picks. You have your number one guy. You have a bunch of guys in Ivy. You have a Ron Holland. You have Stewart. You have Jalen Dirt. No,
you need to develop them.
you need to develop. Now it's time to develop your guys. But so a team that like young, hungry, with a player that has been playing his like his ass off, honestly. Franz Wagner. That brother, first he's averaging 27, 6 and 6. So
27, 6, and
no,
6.
sorry, 24, 6 and 6.
Jeez.
So, but let me see what he's averaging the last 5 games, because that's what he's averaging his last 10 games. He's averaging 28 points, 7 assists, and 6.5 rebounds. So you can
It's nuts.
that's all-star, all NBA shit.
That is all NBA. That's all NBA.
And then he had that game winner against LA. I watched that game. That game was like back and forth. Franz was really willing them. and like he had the matchup. He shot it from deep, and he like hit it, and he was just like, and everyone's just cheering him on.
Bronx can ball. Like, it's crazy. Orlando has such a good young team. You know what
Yep,
I mean? You forgot that Jonathan Isaac was supposed to be a guy for them.
he
You
was
know what I
supposed to
mean?
be a guy. Yeah, yeah.
And now he's just like, I'm a veteran. You young boys do you need to do. I'm just
I'm
gonna fit in.
I'm just gonna play defense because he's
Yeah,
still a top defender. A little
yeah.
overrated, I think,
A
but he is
little,
a good defender.
a little. But Orlando's got a squad, man.
Suggs is a top-notch defender, like
They got
top-notch.
rid of Fultz. Like, I don't even know where Fultz is. I think he's in China. I don't even know if he's
I
in the
know
league.
he wanted to. I think he wants to come back to Orlando, and they're just like,
Yeah.
we have Orlando, we have Black, we have
Black is a guy. Black is a tall ass point guard.
yeah,
Is just
yeah.
getting better. Holy
He's
shit.
he's good. His
Got
assists
Cole Anthony on the bench. Come off the bench.
but
Like,
he hasn't played well this season. He's averaging 3.8 points.
he's bound to. He's bound to. He's bound to.
Yeah, he's
That's,
gonna. I think he's gonna bounce back because he can score.
it's Greg Anthony's son. He can't be down forever.
Yeah, yeah, he can score, man. He can definitely score. I'm looking like this team must be deep. I'm seeing a lot of guys have played. Like they have Caleb Houston, who's played. He's the Canadian. Um, he's played. He's only 21, and from what I know, he can shoot the ball, but he's not gonna get time on this team because they're trying to win games, man. They're really trying to win games.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I forgot that they have Gary Harris.
And he barely scores. He
He
scores
barely
like six a
scores.
game, maybe four a game.
Yeah, for a game, and he like 17 minutes a game, so he's still getting minutes. He's getting
Dude,
significant minutes.
play defense, and whenever you get the ball, he's like their Cam Reddish on the Lakers. Like Cam Reddish is there to play
Yeah,
defense.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's good. That's true. They have their I swear this guy's a rookie, De Silva. He's a rookie.
Oh, he's a 6'8" small forward. Yeah, yeah. Was he Mexican? Shout out to the
Yeah,
Mexican.
Mixon, yeah.
Yo,
He's a
he helped
rookie.
my parlay that night. Thank you.
Yeah,
He's he's
yeah. Like he's
he's decent. He plays defense. He'll hit that three. He'll hit that three, you know.
when you're a young team and you get these other young guys on your squad just doing right things, you just get like you're an organization, you're like, bro, we have something here.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you do. And like what happened with Boston won the title. So if you're a team, I'm like, okay, if you just continue building young this, like you'll be good. And we even talked about the vet that they have. They have KCP, who I always knew was gonna join that team and make it better. And he's averaging 7 points. He's like averaging low amount. He's just Spence has almost the identical minutes as like Suggs. He's fourth in minutes on the team. Oh no, third in minutes on the team.
Jeez.
Um, so just that he's a good vet. The man said, "Oh, all your young boys are gonna run, play defense."
Say
Okay,
less.
I'm chilling. But shout out to Franz, man. Paulo hasn't been here. So now when Paulo gets back, obviously Paulo's the number one guy. But how are you going to what do you tell Franz if you're the coach? Like, or if you're the team, what do you tell Franz?
You already know, Franz. Keep being aggressive. Like, keep being aggressive. Like, Paulo's gonna get his. We don't need to set plays for him. We need to set plays for you. Get to your spots, be aggressive. That's what I'm telling him. I'm telling him it doesn't matter who's playing. I want you to play the same. Be aggressive. Are you gonna get as much shots? Probably not because
Right.
Paulo's gonna be, but still be aggressive. That's
Right.
all I want you to do. You know what I mean?
The one thing I want him to do a lot of is like, you see those assists that you got? See that rebounding you got? Because you were aggressive. You and Paulo can have the same average points. You guys can just pass to each other, ultimately speaking. But just be aggressive. Just be aggressive, right? Like Jason Tatum's averaging close to 7 assists a game because he's
Crazy.
just being aggressive. He's like, oh, I have Jalen Brown who can take over. I have Al Horford, a White, a Holiday who can shoot the three. And you think about it, Boston doesn't have Porzingis yet.
They
That's
don't have Porzingis yet, but you have Pritchard coming off the bench averaging like 16 or
six man of the
15.
year. Six man of the year.
Like, this is not even real. And you know what? Here's another kicker. He's shooting 42% from three.
Bro, six man of the year. He's played so well. He's played so well. He's so underratedly, like he's like to me, he's low-key underrated because like he's talented as shit.
His
But
fifth
like
season. You can take it in. I think it's his fifth season.
Yeah, he's been on the squad for a minute. On a minute. Like, yeah. Fifth? Oh, wow. That's actually a quick wow.
Yeah,
Man, he's been there for a minute. Like, is Orlando to me, like, yo, you have the young guys. Just keep building. You're a top three team, probably a top two team next year. Because Powell's gonna get better, Fran's gonna get better, Suggs gonna get better. You still have Anthony Black, who'll be in his third year at that time. Third, or is it this year, Anthony Black? No, third year, because Anthony Black was last year. Yeah.
yeah, left is with you. Yeah,
Yeah. So like you still have all
DCP coming back.
and they think Anthony Black is their future point guard.
Yo,
Like,
point guard 6'6" and above has my vote.
right? So imagine like next year, your starting unit is gonna be him. Your two will be
What's up?
Suggs. Then you
It's
put three Franz. Your four is Paulo, and then five you got Wendell Carter Jr. Then off the bench you can have Wagner and KCP. You get
you
Gary
want two
Harris,
step the bench, right? Okay, say less, say
right? So
less.
you have your vets coming off the bench kind of thing. So you know they're not going to do anything stupid.
Yeah,
Maintain the game. I
yeah.
don't know, man. Orlando's a good squad, man.
They got guys, and they're hungry.
Yeah,
I
they're a team I
Bucks
wouldn't
and
make
they get
any.
better offensively too. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
Which he has upside too. Anthony Black is gonna get better offensively too. It's gonna be scary.
yeah.
Like,
Like
it's
they're
gonna
a
be,
team that they don't need to make any crazy moves. Like they don't need to.
do
You don't need to
anything
make
like
crazy trade. Yeah, yeah. Just chill. Just chill.
yeah. Just
You just hey.
see where you're at. See where you're at February 2026. That's all I'm gonna
That's
say.
it. Legit perfect time. Perfect time. Perfect time. Let everyone develop. And then by February 2026, you realize, okay, we're crazy Suggs and uh, the another player, and we can get, you know, who's a freaking wing? We can get a good wing player. I don't know. Name a good
Get
wing.
Cooper.
Okay.
Trading Cooper out early.
Like but they could be that. Like to me, if you trade Suggs, you need to get someone significant, like significant.
Definitely, because Suggs, even though he averages, I think like 12 a game, like the defense he brings, the pressure, on ball pressure,
Yeah,
like it doesn't show up in the box. It
yeah.
doesn't show up in
And
the
the
box.
thing
When
is,
you watch that Orlando game, I'm like, this guy is a really good player.
they don't need another scorer. You really think about it, they really don't. Like ultimately, they're okay. They're really okay.
He can't shoot yet, and he already had a 50 game this season. He can't
Yeah,
really
yeah,
shoot.
he's not a dominant shooter like that. But he's getting there, man. His game, the man's game, and Franz. Yeah, they can go back and forth to see who can win a game for them, and like.
Bron's is smooth. I didn't know he was that smooth. I'm really watching him
It's
like he's pretty
That's why
smooth.
people were disappointed in the way he was playing because they're like, yo, if you play well, you and Paulo can be like nasty. Like
That
they
could
can
be
be nasty.
that could be a future duo still.
They can be real nasty.
Keep him happy,
Right.
keep his girl on the squad, coming off the bench, keep him happy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Good
They're
duo.
they're the type of team if Anthony Black can turn into this, they're the type of team if they had a point guard like a Rondo, crazy. Crazy. Crazy the things that they can do.
Imagine
Um
it's Rondo, that would be scary.
Phew. So the next thing I want to talk to you about, we talked about the Blazers, we talked about the Bucks being good. Um, I think maybe we may save this for next week, but I was going to talk about potentially like this year may have whichever year does, but almost I want to go through who are some of the potential new all-stars, like maybe some first-time all-stars for like a hint. Can a guy like Norm make it? Evan Mobley, can those guys make an all-star this year? Right. So we'll probably leave that till next week. But the next thing, like one of the main things I wanted to talk to about was, okay, so I was watching like a podcast. I think it was Player's Choice, but only a snippet. I didn't see the whole thing. One of the guys was like, who is a player that you like, one of your favorites, but you don't really like watching? Like they don't really excite you to watch. It's not this, and so I want to ask that question and kind of I want you to tell me the type of player that you believe like, you like watching, and you're like, I like this type of game. So I'll give you mine first. I'm telling you, mine's gonna be surprised. We were talking about it earlier on, and you were saying that you think you know who mine is. I'll ask you first. Who do you think mine is?
A player that's a top player, like a top 20,
Top
25,
20.
top 20 in the league, that is a good player, but you don't like watching.
Yeah.
If I could bring you to the Boston Garden, TD Garden, I would, and let you meet Jason Tatum and let you tell him that. Because that's what I think your answer is. Tatum.
No, I actually like watching Tatum play. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
a
he's good.
team thing. Okay.
The thing is, I see what you're saying because he's like a more of a boring player. I do agree. He's more boring, but I'm telling you, like mine's gonna surprise you because
I'm
the
gonna
guy.
guess. I want another guess, actually.
Go get.
Giannis.
No, I love watching Giannis play.
Okay, I don't know.
Which well, thing with almost a theme, but like the player I want is gonna shock you because like I think it'll shock anyone. The player who I know is a top like fucking five player. He's a top five
Um,
player, or
if
top
you're
six,
saying top five,
top five, top six, depending on where you want to list them. He's that player, and like I'm just like I'm okay. I'm okay with
one
not
of the
watching.
both those players in your background could be like in the 10
Yeah.
in your
So
background.
you know how there's the guy behind me, and the
Yeah,
other guy behind me, and there's a third guy. Who's the third guy? Who's the third old top-notch vet in the league?
you can't be saying this guy, man. He does not. Does he play in a hot climate?
A very hot climate.
Oh my God, you can't say it's Curry.
Yeah, it's Curry. Steph
Oh
Curry.
my God, don't do this.
So
If
let me
I had enough room,
explain.
I would spin in this chair right now.
Let, 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 let me explain. Let me explain.
What is the
So,
last person? Curry?
so and I think it's even like so I'll even include another guy, like Dame Lillard. So I can't like I know these guys are good players. I can watch the game, but I also find it boring. Like if I had to talk about a player, this is why I'm saying a top-notch player, this is mine. Like Steph Curry, once again, phenomenal player. There's no question about it. He's a top like 15, 20 player of all time, right? But I like don't care to watch someone shoot from like 10 feet. Like I don't care for those shots. Like I don't wherever feet it is, that's more than 10 feet. Like 70 to 80. Yeah, I don't care to see that. I don't care. Like that's not the type of game I want to watch. Like I want to so then let me even talk briefly about the type of games I do like watching. I like watching when
I'm
guys
like watching Curry. Holy.
like I don't like watching okay, no I want to watch guys who like break down the defender. Like the defender's in front of you and you have to beat him. Like
Yes.
that's the type of game I like watching. Like I like watching like Jalen Brown, like or Donovan Mitchell. Like, but then you think about it, my favorite player is Jason Kidd, but my
Yeah.
second favorite player is Dwayne Wade. I
Uh,
like when a player is right in front of you and you have to beat him. It's easy for me to just
Practice doing a lot of shooting still. He wasn't doing a lot of shooting.
like he wasn't doing a lot of shooting. You
He
you
wasn't
had to
doing a lot of
you
shooting.
he had to win. Like he had to win. Where like Steph Curry, he does a lot of running and it can tire you out, all that stuff. But if you're telling me he's always gonna have like a half court shot, or Damian Lillard is gonna have a half court shot, like Paul George, I see what he says. Like that shot was a bad shot because it was a
It
bad
was.
shot.
It was. It was.
It was a bad. He didn't beat Paul George. He shot it over him.
Yeah.
And he's just really good at it. But he never beat Paul George.
It was a bad shot still because that was like 35 feet. Like
Right.
you're Lillard is listed what 6'1"?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Lillard is not 6'1" if he's listed at 6'1". He's 5'11", we're gonna
Yeah.
say. PG is legit 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah.
I can vouch for. So
Yeah.
to do that type of shot with him closing out,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So like Kawhi's shot is a way harder shot to make. Like way because he has guys guarding him. He has two men guarding him.
he's fading what left or right.
Right.
Yeah,
Like there's a whole thing where Dame is just shooting like a shot. Like Steph, like when Steph beats a guy through the dribble and then I'm like, oh, this is good, right? He's beating the guy. But when you can't beat the guy, I'm not entertained by that. Because like anyone can just shoot a far shot when done with, mind you, yes, he's the best shooter in the world. I get he's the best shooter in the world, right? But like,
he
I just
is.
feel like I like when you have to beat the guy. Like, I talk about Shaq being the most dominant guy because he had to literally like dominate next man's.
Yeah, he did. Shaq.
Like, Giannis has to dominate people.
Yeah,
Like, it's easier for Steph to score 50 than Giannis to score 50.
I agree.
Right? Because Steph is a better shooter. He's a better scorer. He's a better shooter.
I
He's
agree.
better than Giannis at scoring the ball. So the fact that Giannis has to get 50 by just basically being better than you in every physical way,
Dominating. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's why. So that's my pick. That was the guy that I named. I know it's a shocker because I said Steph, but that was the guy.
Shit, man. For me, this is not an all-time great. It's not all-time great, but I like watching. I like him. He's
Hmm.
nice. But for entertainment value, like am I entertained watching him? Tim Duncan, I wasn't entertained watching Tim Duncan.
Yeah, very boring.
He did his thing.
Yeah.
I'm not really entertained watching DeMontis Sabonis. I'm really not. I'm really not. I'm
I
really
love
not.
that guy. I love some bonus.
Like
Oh, that's funny.
he's just so fundamental, right?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
fundamental. He gets it done, right? He gets some turnovers. I'm not gonna lie to you. He gets a little bit of turnovers too,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it's just when I'm watching like it's just boring to watch. Like this is not fun. Like oh my God, I can't wait to see what Sabonis gonna do today in the Kings. Like if I'm looking at Kings ball, Sabonis doing his thing. He's getting double up. He's nice. He's got
yeah,
a touch. He's got a little Jimmy. He's nice. But I'm more looking at what's Fox gonna be doing today.
yeah,
What's DeRozan gonna be doing today? Shit, is Keegan gonna do a little in and out step back three? You know what I mean? I'm
yeah,
looking at that. I'm looking at hold on. Malik Monk, what are you saying? What are you saying?
yeah,
I'm looking. Those guys are more entertaining to watch than Sabonis.
yeah.
You know what I mean. So that's my pick. Sabonis still.
Yeah, no,
Can't.
I see that is because it is the type of he's very fundamentally sound,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
fundamentally sound, and he makes like most cases he does make the right plays or he makes the right decision, I should say, right? It's like Jokic, right? Jokic makes the right decisions. His game isn't always the prettiest to watch, right? Like it's so I think that's where I totally understand what you're saying. I think for me sometimes I like the player who isn't as talented and he still overcomes. Like Westbrook, if you think about it, like in his first 3 years was a really good like had a really good jumper. Then after
So,
that, like his jumper died. But he used pure athleticism,
yeah,
right? He just outworked you. So I like when the players like outwork a guy. That's like sometimes I think a lot of the league should be embarrassed that LeBron James is still as talented as he is.
they should be because all these injuries is
He's 40, right? And he's still like a top, I think he's still a top 10 player in the league. Some people can say top 15, wherever. But he's not under 15 for sure, right? So the fact that he's still as dominant as he is now, and he's still a guy that like makes defenses like have to think and stuff, like
like
that's the thing.
all the greats, all the all-time greats when they hit 40 in the league, were they this dominant? We can only think of two that were relevant at 40, Kareem and Jordan.
Yeah,
In the league, right? And Jordan was doing his thing. He made All-Star, right? Kareem, I think he won a ring at the end, but it
yeah.
wasn't like
He wasn't Kareem.
doubles.
Yeah, he
It
wasn't
wasn't
Kareem.
triple. It wasn't Kareem like Lou Alcindor Kareem. Like
No.
this, LeBron is still getting numbers like LeBron in Cleveland before he left Cleveland. You know what I
He's
mean? Like,
shooting better from the three than he's ever had before. Like ever. He's shooting, I think, close to 40% this year.
and that's not even real. LeBron shooting close to 40% from three.
Come on, LeBron
I can't
James.
even
Like,
see that. How much attempts? It's like that too.
I think he has some attempts, but let me confirm. Like LeBron, the thing is, LeBron's points have gone down because AD's points have gone up.
No, we 80. You need to do more work than LeBron scoring. You're younger.
Yeah, yeah, of course, yeah.
Mhm.
We're all tired of saying it's officially like AD scoring way more. I think his
Yeah.
attempts are even up as well. Like, no, you should be scoring as
LeBron
much as
shooting
you can.
51% from the field in general.
Yeah,
If this guy
51.
had a better free throw, he could be 50, 40, 90.
Easily, he's 42% shooting three, and he's shooting 5 times a game.
That's fair. That's fair. Because if you look at the stats, shoot, he was averaging 8 attempts one season. That's ridiculous. Okay. This is good. This is good where he's at.
Yeah. Yeah, so
That's
it's
very good, actually.
he's literally third in the league in assists right now.
That's amazing.
Um,
He's
because
shooting
number number
50%.
one number one in the league in assists is Jokic, and I think Jokic is like second in points.
Haliburton is not even there, huh?
Nah, Haliburton's like I think maybe 10 something like that. So yeah,
10th?
I think so. I have to double check. Yeah,
Haliburton is?
I know LeBron is third.
How do you fall off Haliburton? You didn't reach your max.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I know Jokic is like
Even if you're not getting 20, like dime 10 assists a game, like 'cause last season, every time you look at Haliburton, he's getting 12 assists, it looked like in the box. 12, 13 assists.
Yeah, no, it's not good right now.
Now if he gets 10, it's like, oh, Haliburton got 10 assists. Before that was a low game. Like, oh, the man only had 9 assists today. What happened, Haliburton? Fuck.
No, yeah, yeah,
What is
he
going
hasn't
on?
been good. Hasn't been good at all. But yeah, like but I can see why once again you said it's a bonus and why you would want to see like Fox. They're just it's easier to watch. Like I like watching like DeMar. I feel like DeMar had to really try a lot of times. So
Hmm.
I can definitely see. So yeah, so yeah, Jokic is second in points. He's first in rebounds and second in assists.
That's
How,
ridiculous.
like how is this guy not the MVP fucking B again?
Give him the trophy from now, man. Because if
Yeah,
he
how is this
didn't
guy
have
not
this guy on the
MVP?
squad, they wouldn't have any wins, I don't think. I think they have 0 wins.
Like this guy's everything to them.
Yeah.
And I think he's averaging 14 rebounds. He's averaging 11 assists and he's averaging 30 points. Like you're literally doing it
And
all.
trade a good big for him. Who's a good big? Let's trade, for example, Miles Turner. Even though it doesn't match, it's just hypothetical. Miles Turner for Giannis. How much wins does the Nuggets have with Miles Turner instead of Giannis? Instead
They
of not
don't. They don't. They're probably like 4 wins, maybe.
exactly. Three. I'm saying three.
Yeah. Imagine freaking Jokic with the Pacers.
Pacers would be first in the East.
Yeah,
No,
definitely.
actually, it's Cleveland, but it'd be damn near. Actually, Pacers. Actually, that roster with Joker. Actually,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
they'd be
You have
Cleveland.
Joker and then you have Pascal getting all like little handoffs and things like that.
Yeah,
Pascal going in the
Memoir,
post.
fucking
It would be good.
Matherin. Holy shit.
That'd be a fucking
You got TJ McConnell.
yeah, yeah, that'd be a squad. That'd be a squad. Jokic would have to do so much. Jokic would be like, I don't gotta like they need to. I'm not sure it can happen because Murray's contract is too much, but I'm thinking like you got me do something dramatic. Like they're saying even trade
Joker.
Michael Porter Jr. dramatic.
The thing is, Michael Porter Jr. is low key having, I feel like, one of his best
He
seasons.
is.
I
He's
feel
not
like I don't
bad.
look at the numbers, but every time I'm watching Nuggets, like the man had like 4 assists the other day or 5 assists. I'm like, yo, Porter doesn't get more than 2 assists in general.
The man
He's
doesn't know how
passing
to
the ball
pass.
more.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to pass,
No, but in this season, he's passing the ball more. I'm seeing Porter like
which
moving
is
the ball
good.
up, just like,
He's averaging 18 points. Um, he's averaging 3 assists. Wow.
yeah, I'm telling you, it's not like Porter. And the thing is, he's
Wow.
passing the ball more and he's looking and acting more light skinned. That's what's crazy. He's got the light skin hair going on, going over his face like Elder Barge, a little fade.
Like if
Hella
you
light.
think about it, the man is doubling his assist.
He was really averaging like 1.5 or 1.3. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, he's passing the ball this season. I'm telling you.
Wow. Good job on him, man. Honestly, good job on
Yeah.
him.
That's what I'm
Because
saying. Want to
when
trade
you
this
pass the
guy?
ball, you make it yourself more dynamic. You make the team better. So shouts out to him. That's good.
Great guys want to play with me because before every time you get the ball, doesn't matter if you got the mid, three, it's just pull up, pull up.
It was all him all the time. It was definitely all him all the time. Um, our last thing we gotta talk some Raptors. So they won 2 games in a row. They have a game tonight against Cleveland.
Hallelujah. Against the best team in the league. Hallelujah.
So let's see what happens. But overall, Scotty's back, came back from his injury. They look good. RJ scored 37
Star
points. He
J.
yeah,
When he's feeling that Star J,
he really is being Star J. Like this is like I like this. So like I once again, Boucher has been playing really well.
he has. Hold on.
Thank you. I love you, Boucher. Hello. Hello. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's playing too good. I'm sorry. One thing I realized, I wouldn't trade Yak at all. Because
But
when the
he's
team
like
is
30
good,
and 15. You're like, you know what? He's got IQ.
yeah, because like he's the type of player you're gonna need. You need a center in this league. Like you need a center.
Yeah.
So to trade him, you have to have a center that you believe is coming, but you don't have. Like Chomche is way too fresh. He's not coming for like 2, 3 years.
No, Linux too small. Even though I would like to play Linux at the five and just have the four stretched and just
Right. So like, which would be good. But defensively, he's not good. Yak he's had better seasons defensively. But the one thing I like is this team is so good. Well, not so good. They can be good, like they have potential, right? They fight. That's one thing I think we can both say.
Right.
This year they fight. They're more exciting. I really want to see them compete against the best team in the freaking league in the Cavs, with a healthy Scotty. Now, when Emmanuel quickly comes, I hope he just buys into what's been happening.
So
But he's gonna want to get comfortable, so he may think like, "Hey guys, it was always me, and it was supposed to be Scotty, me, then RJ." But I think more and more, I see why RJ should be like scoring wise. I think RJ should be number one.
yeah,
We talked about it from the beginning. He should
yeah,
be your number one option scoring wise.
yeah. He should be.
Scott, yeah, sorry.
Definitely though, because it makes sense. Like
Yeah,
he's the most athletic. He's the strongest. Well, he is the most athletic. Strongest. I would say Scotty's stronger than him, but
right,
getting in the lane is between him and Quickly. But
right,
finishing in the paint,
right,
he can finish better than Quickly in the paint right
right.
now.
Right. So it should go, Scotty touches the ball more, which is
Yeah,
fine. He's the point. Or if you play mainly point. And then it should be RJ, then Scotty, then Quickly. Quickly should be that guy that like he's gonna average 18 points a game because he's playing against like second units with
yeah.
the like he'll play with the second units, right? So he's still your starter. But that's how it should just be. And then you still got Grady Dick.
Quickly just focus on getting your assist numbers up and getting your steals up. You know what I mean? And the points and stuff will come. Everything else will come. Focus on becoming a lights out shooter like Steve Nash really attempted like 12 shots a game, 13 shots a game.
Right, right.
18
Yeah.
points. He was just milky how wet he was. So just
Yeah.
quickly
Make
just
yourself elite in other ways. Like don't
yeah.
focus so much on like scoring. Like
Yes, scoring is good, but if you're an elite dimer, if you can get steals like that's still you're gonna get recognition. So
like to me, a point guard should only score what to bail out the team. Like the
mhm,
team's not moving properly, like no one has a mismatch. He should like, give me the ball. I'll break this guy off the dribble. I'll get a quick layup, or I'll find a man. Like give it to me with 7 seconds to go. Let me just make a decision. Right? Like that's how I see a point guard should be. Especially for this squad when you have a Scotty. You still have Grady Dick who like to me, if I'm a point guard and I come into a squad and I see that Grady was averaging like 20 points when I was gone, if I see RG's doing his thing, Scotty, like and everyone's like Ochai is averaging 40 plus his true shooting is one of like top 10 in the league. I'm gonna make sure that all the stuff stays the same while I'm there. Because the last thing you want it to go down while you're there, because then it's a you problem. You're the reason why this is like that. Right? And you don't want it to be the case. But the one thing I want to say, the future of the Raptors looks good. I think I do this all the time, but next year, if a lot of things, oh, sorry, Bruce Brown commented, he's like, last year I didn't play my hardest. He said it, I didn't play my hardest. And I know a lot of the fans were on me, which they were because they wanted you to get traded. Like, they wanted you gone. So he's going to play now. But once again, Bruce, try really hard. Try your
please. I
hardest.
don't know why you came out and said it. Like I don't know.
Try your hardest. Come into the squad. Now, if the team starts winning games, then I'm like, shit, they may not trade this man. But there's gonna be contenders that are gonna want him.
100%.
Denver wouldn't do it, but I always wonder if they would trade like a Payne Watson for him. Like they need contracts to
Walking
match.
is actually nice.
Yeah, they need contracts to match. So
Guys blocking shots off the glass and shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think the trades, I think we're gonna see a lot of three-team trades, man. It's gonna be
That's,
hard.
yeah.
It's gonna be hard to see like one-on-one trades. Um, Yeah, there's like a one where they said trade uh Dalton Connect, Russell, I think Rui, and a first round pick for Trey Young.
All that?
I don't but then for Trey Young though.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. I hear you.
But I like Dalton Connect. To me, I'm just trying to if I can trade Russell to a team and just get like even if it's Dennis Schroeder and like maybe a another player, like a lesser player, I'll be happy with. I just want to make more out of Russell. If I
Yeah.
can make. Because if you can't make the big splash for the Lakers, try to make a little splash to make your team better. Um, but yeah,
That's,
so the Raptors unit, right? Scotty, Quickly, Barrett, Yak, and Grady Dick. That's if you don't have number one overall pick, let's say.
yeah.
Your bench is a first rounder from this year's draft, so maybe a top six pick. Mugbo, who's a really good energy guy who's going to learn offense more because he's young. Jamal Sneed is probably going to be your backup a point guard because you're not going to keep Davion Mitchell, and Davion Mitchell and him are the same exact freaking player. They
Are
play,
they?
yeah, they play defense. It's the same exact player.
Leon has actually been playing all right for us still.
He has been
And
he's
he's been
played.
getting assists. Like he's been getting assists.
He's playing so well that I'm like, if we can keep him next year, you have to sign him to like a 2 year, 15 mil. I'm not mad at it.
He's like that as a backup, getting 6, 5 assists as a
Yeah.
backup is
Yeah, I'm not mad at it at all. Not mad at all. So yeah, so you have Sned, you have Ochai, you have Kelly Oubre, I mean Kelly Oubre, Kelly Olynyk, and you still have Jacoby, who's your rookie this year that you really haven't seen.
yeah.
So you're about to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I love Jameson Battle. He's a guy that like 40% 3-point shooter. You don't let that go away.
Crazy.
You need 40% 3-point shooters. You need him. So you keep him. And he's not a horrible defender. So that's 12 guys that I just named. And mind you, that's a first rounder. We still have an early second rounder. Well, it depends because we have Portland second rounder and Portland's winning games. So it'll probably be a 39th or 40th pick. But hopefully Portland starts losing games. Still a pretty good pick. It doesn't matter. Jokic was the 50 something or 40th, and Norm was
Yeah.
the 40th pick too. So it really doesn't matter. But you have a like your next year's already pretty much set if you're the Raptors. Now, in saying that, like me and you've been talking about, Boucher and Bruce Brown. I really don't want players. I want like future draft picks.
Yep.
I don't
Yep.
want players. I want future draft picks. And if it's a player, hopefully is it's a guy I don't care for and his contract can go or I can buy
An
him out.
expiring contract. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
start
only
with
expiring contract. I do
so you
not
can
want to.
trade Bruce Brown for an expiring contract off the books.
Yeah, yeah, you're
I
off
would
the
do that
books,
too. 100%. I would do that too. But
right?
not Boucher
But
because
then
I
you,
don't
you
think
have to get a
like
draft pick, right? Because that's the whole point is getting the
yeah,
draft pick, right? You can't just trade Bruce Brown for an expiring contract because Bruce Brown's expiring contract. You don't. You rather keep the man, right? But I think Boucher. Well, Bruce Brown will give you more because of the name. I think,
well,
right? He can give you more, but as long as you get a first round pick, man, you should be good.
next coming up draft, like I was looking at some Ace Bailey and I'm like, this guy can score from anywhere on the court and
You really can.
he's looking like a little T Mac kind of. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Little T Mac, little PG,
he can definitely
little like
score.
those guys that long that can kind of create sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Looking like kind of one of those guys. I'm like, this guy's kind of Cooper's smooth, but he's moving a little smooth than Cooper. Just saying that.
They say that like someone saying that like we can't be 100%. That's just Cooper. That's it.
Yeah, like now
Like
what I
Ace
was
Ace
seeing
is a
him,
guy.
I seen him do like a fadeaway by the three with
Yeah,
elevation. I'm like, I don't like who in the league can really do it like that in the league right now.
yeah. Not a lot. And but my fear is, and this is where I think I come across like a hater. It's because like the top three picks don't always are not always great. So my that's my fear, right? But then I think about like what? Recently we've had good like I wrote it down, but when we talked about it already, like before, that 2021 draft does look really good.
He does.
Like it looks really good. Cade, Mobley, Green, Scotty, Franz, Jalen Johnson. I think Herb Jones is in the same draft.
Does.
So is Trey Murphy the third is in that same draft. Like
Shit.
there's like I just think the eight. There's way more guys that I'm legit missing. Right? Did I say Suggs?
Sucks.
Suggs was on that draft.
Well,
Like
yeah, the Scotty draft, yeah, it sucks. With
Giddy, get
Suggs.
the
Yeah.
Giddy's on that draft. Like this draft has guys, right? So I think, well, you know what? Like it maybe this could be one of those drafts that like have multiple guys. But then I'm also like I'm a big Scoot guy. Like I still think Scoot can be a player, but
Still,
not
still early. It's still second season, not
it's
even
still
halfway.
second season. I agree with you, but I also think like how these front offices act. They'll give up on you real quick,
They will. Well, then you give up on him real quick, and look what happened with Ingram. Gave up on
right?
him, and Ingram just okay, balling out.
Yeah,
Like,
you're right. So like I hope they don't give up on him quick,
look
but
at Randall. Like Lakers gave up quick on a lot of mans. Randall, right?
all
Ingram,
of them, all of
Lonzo,
them, all of
and
them.
look at these guys.
Right, to get AD, who was always going on the squad. He was always coming to LA. You actually did not have to give up anyone. He was
Like,
always coming to LA.
gave up
So
two All Stars and a a very good point guard in Lonzo and
Yeah,
defender in
yeah,
Lonzo. Like,
yeah, yeah.
and they were young. They were all 20 at the time.
Right. So that's where, yeah, you don't want to give up on young guys too much. You're definitely correct. You don't want to give up on young players. So I hope they don't. But then that's what my fear with like Ace Bailey is. But imagine that the Raptors have Ace Bailey now. So you bring Ace Bailey. Hey, Grady Dick's not on your bench because me and you talked about it outside the pod, and it's like if you get a top three pick, well, I'll say top two in Ace or Cooper, you're starting that guy.
If we get Cooper, for example, or Ace, they're starting. I
They're
don't care.
starting. They're starting.
And
They're
Ace is
starting.
looking like Ace can handle the ball better than Cooper.
Yeah, a lot
But
of people say that like his handles are better. Cooper
he
just
can
is
handle the
better
ball better.
defensively.
Yeah, Cooper's better defender. Cooper can handle the ball, but Ace, what
Yeah.
I was doing with Ace is
They say the one thing with Ace is a little bit like a mental motor. His motor isn't the greatest,
oh, okay.
right? But I also think like a lot of these guys, their motor isn't the greatest because once they end up being so good, everyone's telling them how good they are. So they get
Yep.
kind of lazy. Like the hunger of it goes down a little bit.
So they hit the league and it's like shit. Everyone is
Yeah.
as good as me slash better.
Yeah, exactly.
More athletic. So
Yeah, that's what I think was the number one overall pick, Zachary Rishi said that. He's like, oh, like I was the fastest guy in the French league, most athletic. I come to this league, nigga, I'm like 10th on my own team.
that's wild.
Like
Your own
I'm not even the
team.
most athletic guy.
On your own team compared to the league you were
Yeah,
in.
I'm gonna look at Ace Bailey's weaknesses again before we
Because
end the pod.
anytime you really watch any EuroLeague or CBA and you look at how they play in the play style, they can play, but you don't see anyone pinning the ball off the glass or
Yeah,
any like dunks like that, or the speed is they have speed, but the leaping ability is not there, and you can tell it's so
they,
different.
they say yes, his athleticism is undeniable. His shooting consistency needs improvement. Developing a reliable outside shot. Yeah, when you're like have NBA guys working on you, I think you'll be fine. Defensive awareness isn't good, and I don't want that. I don't want defensive awareness bad. I definitely
Yeah,
want better guys. But yeah, so I just think like the future of the Raptors is good. Because RJ is still very young,
yeah,
still
yeah.
very young, and he's a very good player. The crazy thing is like he has the same stats that Franz has in the last like 5, 10 games, but
5 minutes.
Orlando's winning and Toronto isn't winning.
RJ's averaging 24 a game, 6 and 6.
Come on, right? Think about it.
That's all-star numbers though. But
Right?
when
But because the team's losing, we don't talk about it. Right? Like RJ's 24. Like, what are we saying?
24, shoot,
Yeah, 24, 6 and 6 is really good. And then in his last 10, well, it says 22, but he was averaging more. I think he had that bad stretch. But he's 22, 7 and 6. His shooting splits, I'm pretty sure, are pretty good now. This year. He's
shooting split.
shooting his 3-point shot is 33, but that's kind of shocking because it looks like he's been getting it in a lot more, but I think he's had some off ones. Overall, I think he's been good, right? But once again, when you have that much talent with your bench being as talented, imagine if everyone wants Battle and Grady Dick to be on the same court. Once again, if you have two guys who can shoot 40% shooting a three, plus Ochai, who's also shooting 40%, and
I
he
didn't
plays
know he was
defense,
going to be shooting this good, Ochai.
I thought he was
This last
borderline.
season.
Yeah, none of us saw this. No one did.
Like if he's in
He
the
scored
corner,
well.
it's like I'm like that's a three. Kind of
It's been auto freaking matic, man.
yeah,
He's gonna get a good contract if he keeps hitting those corner threes.
yeah, and
PJ
locking down.
Tucker got beer contracts for it,
Shout out to PJ. Is he
right?
still in the league? Who is it? He's
Yeah,
in the league.
he doesn't want to play for the Clippers right now. Mind you, they're winning games.
Oh, he
He doesn't
doesn't
want to
want to
play
play
for
for the
them.
Clippers. Okay. Why? Why does he not want to play?
I think he thinks he should be playing games.
Oh,
He doesn't want to come off the bench, and I think they want to play some of their young guys like Amir Coffey and stuff. So
PJ, man, you're
yeah,
good with being in the league in general and collecting shoes. Okay.
like to me, I'm shocked that like
Like
he's
you should want
older.
these young guys to have
Yeah.
opportunity. Like that's kind of crab in the barrel
You
mentality.
kind of got your contracts, but he's older now. So I just don't know who's gonna want his defense is like I don't know. I to me like You were probably better coming off the bench, playing 10 minutes, hard defense, and maybe
How
shoot a one
good
or
is
two
your
threes.
defense at 38 and you're not athletic?
Exactly. Exactly. That's my thing.
You're undersized for. How good is your defense gonna be?
Like we may pay you at the five sometimes, but
Like
like
you're gonna be looking like a pylon out there on
yeah,
the
yeah.
real
So
one.
I don't know. It just doesn't make
Guarding at
sense.
6'5", 230, 240 with bad knees, no athleticism. Who you guarding?
Yeah, yeah,
Draymond?
yeah.
You can guard Draymond.
Yeah, and even then, Draymond's faster than you.
He is.
So I don't know. I think it's the same thing. But that is our pod for the day. Next week we'll probably do some other stuff, like talk about some future All-Stars, maybe do some who we think could be the MVP, maybe some awards. Who knows? We'll see. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will talk to you guys again. This NBA week has been fun. Let's go Raptors. Peace.